Chapter 11. Have faith in me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Leader, will we die? Wang Bao was very frightened. He took out a meat bun from his bag, took a bite, the juice overflowed, and it smelled good. Lin Fan stared at him. Do you have to eat at a time like this? Leader, I don't want to be a starving ghost. My father said being a starving ghost is the worst thing. You will be thin when you are reincarnated. Wang Bao said, and then he took another meat bun from his bag. Do you want it? It tastes very good. This is from my father. I am very happy because he made it for me. I want your life. Lin Fan stared angrily. He took the bun, and when he tasted it, he was shocked. Your father is a good cook. That's for sure. My dad was a famous bun king when he was young. Wang Bao proudly said that he had no mother. His mother passed away due to a serious illness when he was young. He lived with his father after that. Lin Fan swallowed the buns just in 3 bites, and commanded, don't make mistakes, those demons are not that terrifying, just treat them as that boar demon. Everyone still remembered when Lin Fan killed the demon boar. All of you get into the carriage and take the swords. Stab the demon if they come closer. Everyone immediately got into the carriage, and the sword in their hands was ready to cut the demons at any time. But if the demons rushed over and they scattered, then they would be finished. In the distance, 5 demons came closer. Tiger demon, wolf demon, goat demon, rabbit demon, snake demon. The scariest from those 5 was a rabbit demon. Its ears were dangling almost touching the ground, and its fur radiated a black luster. Under its fur, huge muscles were hidden. What was so special about a rabbit demon was its muscles. Rayawag. The tiger demon's body was larger than the ordinary tiger. After roaring, it attacked Captain Zhao. Fuck demons, bring it on. Captain Zhao shouted, and then said, Lin Fan, be careful, if you have a chance, run and return to Jiangdu City and tell Master Wang what happened here. The tiger demon was extremely fast and suddenly appeared in front of Captain Zhao in a blink of an eye. The sharp tiger claws stroked Captain Zhao. There were sparks when the claws clashed with Captain Zhao's sword. Since the demon tiger overpowered him, his only chance to win was to rely on his speed and technique. Captain Zhao shouted, and the sword in his hand struck the claws and tried to stab towards the underarm of the tiger demon. Blood sputtered from under the tiger demon's arm, but it was a pity that the tiger demon responded very quickly. He avoided it while howling to give a sign for the others to strike Captain Zhao together. Captain Zhao's swordsmanship wasn't beautiful, but it could kill his opponent in an instant. Okay, it's all good, Captain Zhao is so powerful, he will win. Lin Fan said. Lin Fan thought Wang Zhou was really a reliable person to arrange such a strong person to accompany him. Suddenly, Wang Bao pulled Lin Fan clothes. Leader. Leader. Wang Bao's voice was trembling and frightened. What's wrong with you? Lin Fan asked. Wang Bao finger pointed at a certain direction and said, Leader, he seems to be looking at us. Ha! Lin Fan frowned. When he looked at the direction Wang Bao's pointed, he trembled. The rabbit demon who was sent flying by Captain Zhao crashed to the tree, and when it got up, it stared at Lin Fan and the others. This is still an innocent rabbit demon. Lin Fan muttered. Then he looked at the system information above the rabbit demon's head. Rabbit. 3rd stage demon, possible item drop. Surprise attack, fake, bronze, 20 years worth of cultivation, rabbit meteor fist, 2nd stage, quicken, 3rd stage, spiritual root, fragment, demon rabbit fur. Lin Fan was amazed by the possible item to drop from the demon. When he focused on the system information, the rabbit snarled. When Captain Zhao noticed the rabbit walked towards Lin Fan, he was worried and wanted to stop the rabbit. But the other 4 demons held him, making it difficult for him to save Lin Fan. Especially with the snake demon being there as well, if the demon entangled him, his whole bones will be crushed in an instant. Lin Fan, be careful. I'm busy here. Captain Zhao shouted. Captain Zhou was attacked again by the tiger demon, its claws smashed his sword with a powerful stroke and it was shocking him. Lin Fan and the other was in panic inside the carriage. Everyone was thinking about their loved ones because they thought they might die at that moment. Leader, are we fighting that demon? Wang Bao trembled. Are you afraid? Lin Fan looked at Wang Bao with a confused look. Well, I'm scared, but my father said, since I become a hunter, I can't be scared to die. He said that while cowering. Lin Fan crawled out of the carriage. Leader, what are you doing? Wang Bao shouted. Lin Fan smiled, I'm your leader. I'll go to fight that demon. If you find a chance to escape, just run away without me. If I'm being killed by that demon, you all must remember me. Burn me more incense every year. If you guys didn't do that, I would take you with me. Leader, please come back, let's run away together, you can't beat that demon. Wang Bao was worried, he wanted to help Lin Fan, but he was scared. Lin Fan glanced back. Why don't you guys have faith in me? Lin Fan thought. Chapter 12. Another round. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I can do it. I can beat him. Lin Fan tried to motivate himself. There will always be a chance along the way as long as he was confident. Lin Fan walked toward the rabbit demon with his sword. When he got closer to the rabbit demon, his heart was beating fast. In the carriage, everyone was worried and prayed for Lin Fan's safety. Lin Fan's bravely shocked their weak hearts. Leader, you must come back safely. Wang Bao prayed, he took the meat buns and ate it. He was so scared that all he could do was eat. As for the escape he mentioned before, he will never escape. His legs were numb. Dear rabbit demon, can you stop looking at me like that? I am a bit flustered by you. Lin Fan looked at rabbit demon's eyes, its red eyes were scary. You are a friendly rabbit. You should be gentle. Let's talk nicely, maybe we can become friends. Are you okay with that? Lin Fan softened his tone while talking with the rabbit demon. He hoped Captain Zhao could defeat those 4 demons when he was talking to the rabbit demon, and then slashed the rabbit demon. Coo! The rabbit demon's cry was a sign that it was angry. The rabbit demon walked slowly and suddenly ran towards Lin Fan. Oh my! The rabbit demon raised its hand and punched Lin Fan. Explosive spiritual energy came with the punch. Hiya! Lin Fan parried it with his sword, and the rabbit couldn't believe Lin Fan could parry it. The rabbit demon opened its mouth as if it was smiling to mock Lin Fan. The rabbit suddenly disappeared in front of Lin Fan, and it rushed from the Lin Fan's blind spot to launch a surprise attack. Lin Fan couldn't respond and was punched on his face. And the rabbit successfully landed chain attack on Lin Fan and sent him flying. It hurts, damn it. Lin Fan felt his face was about to crack. His new talent after defeating the boar was useful in that situation. Otherwise, his face would be ruined by that attack. You son of a bitch, don't force me to get serious. Lin Fan got up, wiped the blood on the corner of his mouth, and adrenaline rushed in his body. Being bullied since kindergarten, experienced violence by his father, and 3 months in the hospital. And at that moment, he suddenly remembered those memories, and it made him so furious. The rabbit demon smiled to mock Lin Fan playfully, exposing its sharp teeth. Lin Fan felt so upset when looking at that rabbit. Lin Fan walked slowly, circled around the rabbit to look for a blind spot to attack it. But the rabbit just stood there doing nothing, as if it didn't care about what weakling could do. Lin Fan didn't know what to do to defeat that rabbit, so he decided on some sort of plan. He walked slowly toward the rabbit, started to run, but the rabbit kept ignoring him and smiled like it didn't care about Lin Fan tried to do. But when Lin Fan's speed suddenly increased, the rabbit was shocked and didn't have a chance to dodge. Lin Fan used boar, crash. Boom. Lin Fan slammed to the rabbit's tummy, but his head was hurt because of that. Unfortunately, the rabbit's muscles were so hard. Well, that was a big mistake he did. A mistake has been made, and Lin Fan had to pay for it. The rabbit launched a counterattack, it grabbed Lin Fan and threw him to the air. And then the rabbit jumped and launched a super speed chain attack. Arg. Lin Fan didn't expect it to end up that way. The rabbit demon was too strong. The difference in technique and cultivation was too big. Suddenly, Lin Fan found that his feet were off the ground and floated into the air. Cool. The rabbit snarled, waved its arms. Left uppercut. Right uppercut. The two punches landed successfully. And it kept punching Lin Fan relentlessly. Rabbit meteor fist. Da. The rabbit's punch was so fast that it created afterimages, and all its punches landed on Lin Fan's body. Lin Fan took a deep breath. He tried to resist so hard, but after a moment, he really couldn't hold it anymore. The rabbit demon was too powerful, his body was twisted by bombardment, and continued to bleed. The last punch landed. The rabbit smiled and laughed. Boom. The rabbit landed a critical hit on Lin Fan. Lin Fan vomited blood on the ground. Damn, it hurts. Even the hardening skin couldn't absorb all damage the rabbit inflicted on him. The rabbit demon landed on the ground, as if trying to mock Lin Fan. It practiced some boxing moves like moving from side to side, left uppercut and right uppercut while dodging. Leader. Wang Bao cried with tears. He was so heartbroken when he saw Lin Fan in that state. Leader, I'm here, please hold on. Wang Bao was worried, the fear in his heart has been dispersed, and he took out a carrot from his bag. He wanted to eat his last food, and even if he died, he could not waste his food. He took a bite on the carrot. Then a crisp sound was heard. The rabbit demon looked at the carrot in Wang Bao's hand. The carrot stimulated its appetite. The rabbit demon was drooling when it stared at the carrot. Lin Fan saw the expression of the rabbit demon and then looked at Wang Bao. So he got an idea based on what he saw. Wang Bao, throw the carrots over. Lin Fan shouted. Wang Bao heard the voice of his leader. Without hesitation, he threw the carrot in his hand towards Lin Fan. When the rabbit demon saw the carrot, he couldn't help but jump up to get the carrot. Lin Fan threw high the carrot in his hand, and the rabbit jumped. It fell for Lin Fan's trap. Give me. The rabbit demon floated in the air then held the carrot in its hand. Stab. Lin Fan stabbed the rabbit right in its abdomen, and he kept slashing at a fast rate. The rabbit demon swallowed the carrot, and then its body was limp, its breath was stopping and fell on Lin Fan's body. Captain Zhao kept watching Lin Fan's situation. When Lin Fan was about to be beaten to death by a demon, he was in a hurry. But when he saw that scene, he couldn't help but speak. How about we go for another round? That was a serious life and death battle. Chapter 13. Run away. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Fan pushed the rabbit demon away, took the carrot, and ate it. Such an idiot creature. The rabbit demon's attack was very powerful, and thanks to the hardening skin from the boar demon, Lin Fan could survive. Obtained. Surprise attack, fake, bronze, obtained. 20 years worth of cultivation. Lin Fan was shocked when he saw the system. No way. Suddenly, he felt his body was about to burst. His body was processing the new power and cultivation he got from the rabbit demon. Surprise attack, fake, bronze. The third stage rabbit demon's talent. This talent is also effective to escape from dangerous situations. Using this talent for escape is a bit of waste. I'm not the type who will run from the challenge. Let's see if you still can taunt me even in your death. If the rabbit rose from dead, it would punch Lin Fan in the face again. The snake demon found the rabbit demon was dead at Lin Fan's hands. The snake demon ignored Captain Zhao and attempted to attack Lin Fan. The snake demon thought, how could a mere human defeat them, demons? The human race was the weakest from others, and just by twisting them gently, humans' bones would be crushed easily. Watch out! Captain Zhao realized the snake demon was out of his range, and the tiger demon blocked the way so he couldn't help Lin Fan. Tiger demon, wolf demon, and goat demon were all wounded. Even though Captain Zhao's sword technique was accurate, he couldn't inflict fatal damage on them, because those demons always avoided his attack when it almost hit their vital spot somehow. Captain Zhao's situation was no better than Lin Fan. Lin Fan was panting and wanted to treat his injury. Suddenly, the snake demon slithered toward Lin Fan quickly. When it close to Lin Fan, it whipped its tails fiercely. Every time it whipped its tail, there was a sound of an explosion heard. Do you think you can beat me by doing that? Lin Fan responded quickly, attacked the snake demon's tail with his sword. Lin Fan's movement was faster than the snake demon. Its tail was cut into two, and blood splattered from its wound. The snake demon rolled on the ground, and its body was twisted. He could easily scare the snake demon in its current state at that moment. Humph! Now, Lin Fan had 31 years cultivation, so he wasn't afraid of those demons. I will kill you if you let your guard down. Lin Fan rushed quickly with a sword in his hand intended to chop the snake demon's head. The snake demon saw Lin Fan coming with a sword. It didn't expect Lin Fan to suddenly rush toward it because Lin Fan could barely hold his ground in his fight against the rabbit demon earlier. How could he be so fierce now? The snake demon was not weaker than the rabbit demon, so it shocked. Where are you going? I will stop you. Lin Fan roared while running and swinging the sword, leaving a deep mark on the ground. Is that Lin Fan? Captain Zhao was shocked and speechless. How could Lin Fan become so powerful even though he didn't stand a chance against the rabbit demon in the previous fight? But in a blink of an eye, the situation changed. When Captain Zhao looked at Lin Fan, the goat demon used that chance and suddenly rushed toward him and stabbed Captain Zhao's belly with its horns. Damn! Captain Zhao frowned. He grabbed the goat's horn with one hand to stop its horns before it pierced his guts any deeper. Captain Zhao chopped off the goat demon's head with his sword. He pulled out the horns, his blood flowed from his abdomen. He stuck his sword to the ground while kneeling and covering his abdomen, stared at the tiger demon and the wolf demon with vigilance. Meanwhile, Lin Fan was chasing the snake demon in a high speed, but he failed to slash the snake demon because the snake demon was too fast. I will chase you down. Lin Fan kept chasing the snake, but when he found Captain Zhou was in a bad state after fighting against the goat demon, he stopped chasing the snake demon and rushed to Captain Zhao. I will make a bowl of soup with your head in it the next time we meet. Lin Fan shouted to the snake demon who fled away. Captain Zhao. Wait for me. Captain Zhao looked at Lin Fan and did not say a word, but looking at his wound, it was clear that Captain Zhao was in a bad state. Are you okay? I'm okay. Captain Zhao replied. There were 2 demons left. Lin Fan glanced at the goat demon's dead body. He regretted why that demon didn't die by his hands. Because Lin Fan could obtain its ability or cultivation. The tiger demon and the wolf demon stared at each other. The rabbit demon is dead. The goat demon is dead. The snake demon runs away. The demon's conversation was relatively simple. The tiger demon yelled at the wolf demon, snake demon is traitor. Leader, we are here. Wang Bao and the others shouted. They pulled their sword and shouted at Lin Fan. The tiger demon and the wolf demon stared at each other again. Withdraw. Agree. Those two demons ran away at high speed. They were both wounded by Captain Zhao. Even if those two didn't have any injuries, those two didn't have a chance to beat Lin Fan. Chapter 14. Instinct. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chase them. Wang Bao shouted and chased those demons who ran away. He found that something was wrong, and he looked back. Everyone stood there, didn't move, and looked at him as if he was a retard. Yeah, I know. Wang Bao felt like a peerless master who was going to fight the demons with his life on the line. If the tiger demon and the wolf demon knew a weakling was chasing them, maybe they would return and took Wang Bao with them. Good evening meals. They would say. Captain Zhao breathed a sigh of relief, and he was seriously injured, causing him to faint. Captain Zhao, hang on. Lin Fan carried Captain Zhao, let's go back. They didn't have time to waste. If several demons showed up now while they were in a bad state, they would be killed for sure. And all of his underlings behind him were already exhausted because of the battle with demons. Let's use a different route, don't take the usual route. Lin Fan thought for a while, and he felt it would be dangerous if they chose to head back with the usual route. The underlings nodded with full of respect to him now. Jiangdu City. When he reached Jiangdu City territory, he felt so relieved. His underlings smiled, that was a journey with their life as a stake. Hunter Guild. Wang Zhou talked to Li Zhiyong and others about the incident with the fox demon. The demon was vengeful. Even if Chen Zhong was dead, the demon wouldn't stop seeking for revenge. The black fox demon is close to the transformation, and we need to report it to the higher-ups, asking the higher-ups to send a backup to guard Jiangdu City. If the black fox demon is fully transformed, no one can stop it. Wang Zhou said. Li Zhiyong said, I didn't expect Chen Zhong will cause such big trouble for Jiangdu City. We don't need a backup. It should take years for that demon to fully transformed. Unless it uses some treasure to speed up its cultivation. Where can that demon find such a thing? Said Lu Ru. We better prepare for the worst. Sometimes things will end up beyond our expectations. The only thing I worry about is the power behind the black fox demon. Wang Zhou worried. Everyone was silent. What Wang Zhou said was reasonable. Demons might also have their own pack as humans do. The black fox demon was not a mere demon. It was not like any ordinary wild demon. If the black fox demon looked for help, it may cause so much trouble. At that time, some of his underlings reporting, Captain Zhao and leader Team Lin Fan returned. Captain Zhao was seriously injured, unconscious, and now he is under treatment. What? Wang Zhou was shocked, suddenly stood up, and hurried to see them. Li Zhiyong and everyone looked at each other. They naturally knew what happened to the caravan, but just by looking at the current situation, it seems like things didn't go too well. Inside the clinic. Gently, gently. Lin Fan talked to the doctor, who gave him a treatment. I know you have spiritual power. But still, you must pay attention to the wounds you might get in a fight. Fortunately, you are really tough, tougher than ordinary people. Any average people who suffer this kind of injury would have lost an organ or two, but you don't have serious injury. The doctor said. When the doctor gave him medicine, his finger slipped on Lin Fan's mouth intentionally. Lin Fan wanted to kick the doctor right away. Was that doctor gay? Wang Bao proudly said, that's natural. Our leader is not an ordinary person. If you see it for yourself, I assure you that you will be scared. The doctor was the official doctor of the government. Naturally, he knew demons really existed. He already treated countless people who fought against the demon. At that time. Lin Fan, how's your condition? Wang Zhou came in and then glanced at the doctor. Nothing serious. Lin Fan said. The doctor said, Team Leader Lin's injury is not serious. Just take some medicine, and he will recover after a few days of rest. Master, I want to report something to you. Lin Fan said. The doctor packed his things and then left. Wang Zhou watched the doctor left and closed the door. What the hell happened? We fought 5 demons. Lin Fan said. Wang Zhou's heart trembled, but he did not expect that the demons were the culprit. There was a high possibility that humans involved. He realized that it was not an easy task to come home in one piece after facing such enemies. Master, I feel there is something off about Dr. Sun, you must interrogate him. Lin Fan said. Well, I'll send someone for interrogation at a later time. Wang Zhou said, Dr. Sun didn't know Lin Fan, and the others had a suspicion toward him. Master, when I fight against the demon, I found that the rabbit demon was like a pet when it saw a carrot. What comes to your mind? Lin Fan asked. In Lin Fan's opinion, the rabbit demon was a pet, even if it became a demon, its nature might still remain. Is that true? Wang Zhou said, maybe only its nature, just like humans, some die for money and some die for beauty. But not all demons are like that one. With good luck, you may encounter demons that have that kind of nature, but many demons will not have these natures. Lin Fan nodded, maybe Wang Zhou was right. Chapter 15. I am not stupid. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Captain Zhao was still in a coma, and his injuries were a bit severe. Fortunately, the doctor of the Hunter Guild had excellent medical skills. After some treatments, Captain Zhao's life was no longer in danger. Meanwhile, inside the government's building, Lin Fan and his 15-person underlings gathered. Bnoldm, leader, are we going on another mission again? Wang Bao shouted. He went back and told his father that he encountered a demon during the day and had a fierce fight with the demon. He also played an important role in the battle with the demon. The team leader gave credit to him because he performed quite well in the last mission. His father listened to his story while smiling. Wang Bao looked at his father's smile, and he was very happy. He secretly swore to himself to make his father proud. Follow me. Lin Fan waved and took the lead to set out. He originally didn't want to go, but he didn't want to miss the opportunity to see more about the world he was living at that time. In the distance, Wang Zhou watched Lin Fan, and his underlings went out. Wang Zhou sighed and remembered when he was so young and full of energy. Wang Zhou already asked Lin Fan's performance in the last task, and he thought Lin Fan was a promising one. Dr. Sun was a doctor in Jiangdu City. He had a good reputation for helping people. Everyone would not believe such a person would cooperate with demons. But according to Lin Fan's experience, the less everyone expected that person to be a criminal, the more likely that person was. All the innocent act was just a fa.a. Not long after, Lin Fan brought his underlings to Dr. Sun's residence. The house was not as luxurious to those noble families. Nonetheless, it was a splendid house, which showed that Dr. Sun made quite a fortune in Jiangdu City. Leader, would you like to knock on the door? Wang Bao asked. Knock on the door. We are not here to be his guest. Lin Fan didn't say much, he went straight forward, and he kicked the door. His leg would have broken if he did that in his previous life. Get him. Lin Fan ordered, and his underlings swarmed the house. Inside a room, there was the sound of water dripping. There was also a light floral aroma. Dr. Sun was relaxing in the bathtub while humming a song, and a wooden duck was floating on the water. Holding a small glass in his hand, and he took a sip of it. Ah, this is life. Suddenly, the door was busted from outside. Read this novel on original translation site systemtranslation.com. Dr. Sun was shocked, and he got up. Who are you? Lin Fan's underlings rushed in, saw Dr. Sun, and shouted, he's here. Dr. Sun was shocked and afraid because those people treated him as a criminal. Who are you? Help me. The situation seemed a bit chaotic. Then, the bathtub was empty, and only the little wooden duck was swimming on the water. Lin Fan stayed in the courtyard and looked around. Any wind and grass movements wouldn't escape his eyes. Leader, we bring Dr. Sunday. They threw the naked Dr. Sun to the ground. A blast of cold wind awakened Dr. Sun, covering his crotch with both hands, and looking up at Lin Fan, with a sad expression he said, "Sir, what did I do to you? What are you trying to say?" Lin Fan asked. Dr. Sun with a horrified expression shook his head. "Sir, you don't know about me. I'm just an ordinary doctor in Jiangdu City. I never break the law. Even if I commit a crime, someone must have framed me." "Are you sure?" Lin Fan said calmly, his fingers touched the hilt of his sword in his waist. Dr. Sun was scared, it was as if he would be slashed to death if he didn't cooperate well. "Sir, I don't know what's going on." Dr. Sun shouted, his expression was extremely hilarious. An average person would have been deceived by that. For example, Wang Bao believed Dr. Sun didn't commit anything. "I wanted to talk to you nicely, but it seems like you have no intention of cooperating. There is no way but to take you, and I'll do it in my own way." Lin Fan said, "Take him with us." "Please wait a moment, sir." Dr. Sun shouted. "Humph." Lin Fan glanced at him with a smile, "Feel like confessing now?" "No, can you let me get dressed?" Dr. Sun said, his body was chilly because Lin Fan's underlings dragged him out while he was in a bath. Lin Fan squinted his eyes, an escape afterward. Dr. Sun hurriedly waved his hand. "No, I don't want to escape, because I didn't break the law." He covered his crotch while speaking because it was cold outside. "If you don't believe it, send someone to accompany me." Lin Fan smiled, and looked at Dr. Sun as if to say, "Do you think I'm a fool? Those guys are still green." Dr. Sun was about to collapse. "If you don't believe me, you can watch me by yourself." "If I'm going by myself, do you want to kill me with your own hands? And then run away immediately? I know what is inside your head." Lin Fan said. Dr. Sun was shocked and stopped talking. He lowered his head slowly and sighed. "At least put a hood on me." Dr. Sun thought it was fine with being naked, but at least he asked for a hood. "Wait here." Lin Fan waved and looked for the hood at the house. Lin Fan covered Dr. Sun's body with the hood, and when Dr. Sun's eyes were covered, his earlier innocent eyes became cold and sharp. Suddenly, Lin Fan stepped forward and took off Dr. Sun's hood. "You said you were innocent. I knew at first glance that you have a devil in your heart." Dr. Sun was completely stunned. "Sir, I just had itchy eyes, I was innocent." Dr. Sun cried out in tears. "You think I am blind? Your eyes were full of killing intent, did you want to kill me? But it doesn't matter, we will have a nice time in my turf. Take off the hood." He didn't care about how unsatisfied Dr. Sun was, how bad his image would be. Chapter 16. The Dry Well. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dr. Sun did not yell or shout along the way, and actively cooperated with Lin Fan, hoping to get better treatment. Government building, cell. "Sir, I didn't break the law. Are you forcing me to confess something that I even don't know what it is? I'm an ordinary doctor, how could I break the law?" Dr. Sun sat on an iron chair. "Don't worry, wait here." Lin Fan's hand clattered, chained Dr. Sun's hands and legs. The chain wouldn't break by Dr. Sun's strength. "Sir, I'm a doctor who never commits a crime at all," Dr. Sun said. Lin Fan laughed, "What? You have already to cultivate for 3 years, and you dare to say you can't kill someone?" Dr. Sun was surprised again. He was horrified. How does he know I have been cultivating? Dr. Sun thought. You misunderstand, sir. I am a doctor in the city. I know full well about the human body. Even if I learn a normal exercise book, I just practice it to stay healthy. After all, it takes physical strength to search for medicinal herbs. Dr. Sun tried to explain the reason, but it was futile. Yeah, cultivation sure is only for maintaining health and also for gathering herbs. Your poison palm is magnificent, by the way. Lin Fan said calmly. You watch him here. Every hour and a half pour him with cold water to wake him up. I understand, leader. Wang Bao said. Before Lin Fan left them, he reminded Dr. Sun once again to cooperate with him if Dr. Sun wanted to live. Dr. Sun's residence. Lin Fan returned alone to Dr. Sun's residence. The courtyard was quiet and silent. Then he walked towards the house. He returned to investigate every corner of Dr. Sun's house to find clues. Inside the house. The bathtub was still there, and the wooden duck on the water was still there too. Where is he hiding it? Lin Fan pondered, and then came to the bedroom, knocking every inch of the bed. No abnormalities were found. Then he knocked on the floor, but he still didn't find anything. Please read this novel on original translation site systemtranslation.com. I must keep my cool. He must be using such classic ways of hiding things. This shows that Dr. Sun is experienced and smart. Lin Fan already searched every room he found, but he still couldn't find any clues. He was finally out of breath and sat on a chair in the library, and then he realized there was something off with that chair. Suddenly, he locked his eyes on the wooden chair under his butt. Humph. He stood up, raised the wooden chair, then slowly lowered the wooden chair and left. And he still couldn't find anything. But sometimes, there was no need to think too hard to find a hidden secret. Inside the dungeon, Wang Bao poured a bucket of water on Dr. Sun's body. I'm really innocent. You have crossed the line here. I will sue you. Dr. Sun trembled because the water was too cold. He was sitting there naked. Dr. Sun, I believe in my leader, he must have found something wrong with you. Wang Bao frowned, making an angry look, pretending to be fierce. Wang Bao, I am really innocent. You got a fever when you were a kid. Many doctors say your condition is hopeless, but I save you, don't you remember? Wang Bao wondered, what are you saying? My father told me that the doctor demanded a lot of silver, but our family is poor. It was the neighborhood that helped me to buy me the medicine. Why did you say you saved me? Brother, what are you talking with him? Just let him be. Come and have some hot soup. Tonight is a bit cold. Another hunter said. Dr. Sun leaned on his body and began to tremble. Wang Bao, please have mercy on me, give me some hot soup, it's too cold here. No, I don't want to. Wang Bao said. He scooped a bowl of the hot soup, took out the meat bun from his bag, and shared it with his partner. Then he took a bite of the meat bun and sipped the hot soup. Dr. Sun's residence. Hey! Lin Fan has given up. He searched every room inside and out, but he didn't find anything useful. As a result, he was desperate. Lin Fan decided to leave the house and walked outside. Suddenly, Lin Fan saw a dry well not far away from the house. The professional hunch told him there must be something wrong with the dry well. Chapter 17. The Mice's Tomb. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 17. The Mice's Tomb. From my experience watching hundreds of TV series, something dangerous must be lurking in that well. Lin Fan was standing by the ancient well. It looked like it has been deserted for a long time. And that was the problem, someone was living in that house, but the well was dry. Isn't that impossible? You can keep dreaming if you want to escape my sharp intuition. Lin Fan's fingers touched the edge of the ancient well. It was very dry, but when he touched the inner wall, it was a bit damp. Lin Fan came to the conclusion that well was a perfect place to hide something. Dr. Sun might be blocked the water to place something in there. Lin Fan decided to enter the well, but when his body was full inside the well, he suddenly crawled out from the well. I almost forgot something important. Lin Fan believed if that well was where Dr. Sun hid something, that place must be dangerous. When Lin Fan pondered about how he could enter the well safely, he heard some voices from the corner. Lin Fan found in the dark corner, 2 gray mice were enjoying their night activity. Maybe a dark and windy environment was quite tempting for them, which made the mice excited, and the voice was very loud. Lin Fan was not a person who would ruin those couples' love. Suddenly, Lin Fan squinted his eyes and looked at those mice in the shadow once again, and then he looked at the well. The male mice felt something dangerous was coming toward them, and the female stopped its scream. Something was lurking in the shadow watching them, but they felt no hostility. Suddenly, Lin Fan appeared in front of those mice. "It's all up to both of you, please help me." Regardless of whether those mice agreed or not, Lin Fan suddenly caught those mice and then bind them together with the rope he found. "I don't know if there is any danger in there." Lin Fan slowly put those mice into the well. Those mice thought they might be killed by Lin Fan, but the dark environment made them feel comfortable, and they arrived at the bottom of the well. Those mice looked at each other and started to go on an adventure in the well. Lin Fan was waiting above the ground. He watched the rope to guess those mice' condition. Immediately, the rope trembled as if something was dragging those mice. Something might happen down there. Lin Fan was startled, anxious. What was going on inside the well? After a while, the rope did not move anymore. Lin Fan pulled the rope. When he saw those mice were already dead with a lot of holes on their bodies. "I didn't know you guys will die like this." Lin Fan bowed his head. He felt sorry for that. Lin Fan observed the injuries on those mice's bodies. He found soy-bean-sized steel balls in their body. "Fortunately, I did not continue to go down there. Otherwise, the consequences would be unthinkable." The mice must have touched a trigger for a trap, causing the mice to be penetrated by the steel ball. The mice were so small that half of their bodies were full of holes, indicating a high security system in it. If Lin Fan really went down there, he might be dead by now, because there was no place to dodge in that well. Instead of throwing those mice's bodies to the sewer, Lin Fan made a grave for each one of them. "Rest in peace, the cute little couple of the Jiangdu city, born unknown, and died on August." Lin Fan looked at the bun-sized grave and said to himself, "Rest assured you too, your sacrifice will not be in vain. I, Lin Fan, swear to avenge you too, so please rest in peace." If those mice could speak, they might say, "Thank you for what you've done for us." And Lin Fan might say, "No, I'm the one who should thank you." Dungeon. Dr. Su's face was pale, he was sneezing, and almost froze in the cold. "I'm really innocent, you can't do this to me. Wang Bao, I'm dying here." Dr. Sun still insisted that he was innocent. But Wang Bao kept ignoring him. Wang Bao sighed, shook his head, and his conscience couldn't bear to do that, but he had no other choice. The hunter around him said, "Brother Wang Bao, we have gone too far. Well, our leader told us that we can't be soft to him, so we must take our leader's command seriously. This is almost the time, we have to pour him some water." Wang Bao said. Dr. Sun was dying to kill Wang Bao. "Asshole! Why don't you get burned in hell?" Chapter 18. Wanted to kill that man right away. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Arg. Dr. Sun screamed because of the cold water. The leader is back. Wang Bao saw Lin Fan coming and hurriedly got up. "Leader, Dr. Sun still said he is innocent." "Well, people who break the law often insists that he is innocent," Lin Fan said. Wang Bao pondered. He felt that Lin Fan's words made sense. Leader, what if he is innocent? If he is innocent, why must we arrest him? Lin Fan looked at Dr. Sun, pretending to wait for Dr. Sun's response. It was not important whether he entered the well or not, the most important thing was that he has identified the well as Dr. Sun's secret place. There must be something in there. Wang Bao remembered what his father said, only by following the alpha man he could see new things. Dr. Sun saw Lin Fan and shouted, "Sir, it's unfair. I'm just an ordinary person who minds my own business. How can I commit crimes? And please ask the government for reference." His expression looked even worse than the devil itself. Activity. Lin Fan smiled and walked toward Dr. Sunday. "Just now, I went to your house. Do you know what I found?" Dr. Sun was shocked, but his expression remained the same, and he shouted, "Sir, I just have medical books and ordinary furniture. There is nothing else, really." "Really?" Lin Fan stared at Dr. Sun's eyes as if giving him another chance to admit his crime. "Yes, really." Dr. Sun kept insisting that he was innocent, but now he was a bit afraid. "Sir, I'm not lying, I'm just your ordinary doctor." Lin Fan stretched out his hand and patted Dr. Sun's shoulder. He said impatiently, "I entered your room and searched inside your room. What do you think?" "Sir, there is nothing suspicious, I can swear." Dr. Sun said. He felt relieved, because even if the room was turned upside down, Lin Fan wouldn't find anything. Dr. Sun was mentally strong, and he won't buy Lin Fan's bluff easily. Even if Lin Fan tortured him, he would never say a word. "Well, as you said, I didn't find anything." Lin Fan lowered his head and spoke in Dr. Sun's ear. "Then I went to the study, guess what I found? Please read this novel on original translation site systemtranslation.com. Dr. Sun said, "Sir, even if you demolish my house, you won't find anything suspicious. Sir, I know that there is pressure on you to solve this case. I hope you find the real killer as soon as possible. I understand your job. If you let me go, I promise I will never sue you." Dr. Sun was afraid if he didn't go out as soon as possible, Lin Fan will torture him. Lin Fan sighed and stood in front of Dr. Sunday. He said quietly, "You are right, but I am very confused. Why is there a dry well in your yard? Then, where did you get the water from?" Suddenly. When Lin Fan said those words, Dr. Sun's expression changed, but soon he regained his composure. "Sir, the dry well was already there since the previous owner of the house still lived there, and it dried up at this time. Actually, I wanted to do something with that, but the feng shui master said that I should not pour water to the well, it will bring misfortune, so I just leave it there." Dr. Sun gradually began to panic. "I'm just talking about a dry well. Why are you so nervous?" Lin Fan laughed. He has been watching Dr. Sun's eyes for quite a while, and he saw there was something wrong with his eyes when he mentioned that dry well. But Dr. Sun wanted to speak but was interrupted by Lin Fan. "No need to answer me. I have been in the dry well. You said that you are innocent. Stay here, think about it again, and don't blame me for anything. Don't say I didn't give you a chance." Lin Fan said. "Well, Lin Fan hasn't gone to the dry well. He will die if he went down." Dr. Sun remained silent. Lin Fan looked at him with disbelief. He knew that Dr. Sun has realized something. Dr. Sun was already set a lot of traps in the dry well. If Lin Fan didn't know how to disable the traps, he couldn't enter it safely. "No one is allowed to open the door except for Master Wang and me." "Yes, leader." Wang Bao answered. Lin Fan left the dungeon. It was already late night, and he was so tired. He wanted to see his bedroom so badly and handle the rest by tomorrow morning. On the next day. Early in the morning. "Sir, this is my report. The veteran's incident has something to do with Dr. Sunday. When I go with Captain Zhao and fight with the demon, it's also connected to him. But I realized Dr. Sun was not that strong. It was obviously impossible to control those 5 demons. There must be someone behind him. Lin Fan said. It was clear at first sight that Dr. Sun couldn't control those demons, he would be their snack instead. Wang Zhou pondered, okay, I get it. I'll take someone to the house now to inspect the dry well. You go to the dungeon and interrogate him further. Yes, sir. Lin Fan answered. The dry well was so small. Besides, Dr. Sun has cultivated a poison-related technique. It was difficult to say whether the dry well was poisonous or not. If someone went in and got poisoned, it would be troublesome. Wang Zhou looked at Lin Fan's back when Lin Fan left and frowned, and he had some speculations deep down, but he was still not sure. Jiangdu City's power map was somewhat complicated. The purpose of the Hunter Guild was to kill demons and maintain the safety of Jiangdu City. If Hunter Guild was involved with that power, it would be a bit troublesome. Meanwhile, Lin Fan was walking on the way to the dungeon. Suddenly, a middle-aged man stopped Lin Fan and said while smiling, "Sir, can we talk?" "Who are you?" Lin Fan looked at that man, and Lin Fan knew that he was not a good person when Lin Fan looked at the system information above that man's head. Lin Fan wanted to kill that man right away. Chapter 19. I want to kill you but I hold back. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Pavilion, private room. Lin Fan looked at the surrounding, then stared at the guy in front of him. Don't waste my time, I know you are here for Dr. Sunday. Lin Fan looked at the middle-aged man. A middle-aged man was stunned. His real name was Lu Nian. He wanted to kill Lin Fan, but since Lin Fan answered him, he held the thought. As expected of Master Lin, you have a good eye. Lu Nian said with a smile, then he took out the money from his bag, put it on the table, and slid it to Lin Fan. Master Lin, please do me a favor. Lin Fan leaned forward, looked at the amount on the money, and he was shocked, then said, 10,000 silver. Lu Nian smiled. He knew that it was not a small sum of money. Lin Fan also knew that he must work for the rest of his life to get that amount of money. Lin Fan looked at Lu Nian, who kept smiling, and then slid back that money gently. What do you mean? Are you trying to bribe me? What bribery? This is just a token of my gratitude for your hard work. Lu Nian said. Lin Fan was very interested in that money, he just waited for the right moment to take it. Please accept it. Lu Nian said. Lin Fan hated that kind of behavior, but he still had some interest in that money. Well, knowing that you have prepared this gift for me, how can I let you down? I will accept your kindness. Lin Fan made it look like he wasn't particularly interested in that money, but he won't refuse it if Lu Nian insisted. He didn't look like a novice at all in that kind of thing. While smiling, Lu Nian cursed Lin Fan in his heart. Lin Fan was shameless. I have 2 things I need to talk about. The first one is to thank Master Lin, and the second thing is to ask for your help. Lin Fan already had an idea what that man's request was. Bribery was bribery, and it was usually passed off as a gift. About Dr. Sun? Lin Fan asked. Lu Nian said, yes, Dr. Sun, he is my relative. I have been doing business in foreign countries for many years, but I'm in shock after hearing that my relative has been arrested right after I returned to this city. I want to help him somehow. Lin Fan was shocked, that man was really straightforward. Lin Fan said, this matter is a serious matter. You must know that your relative is related to demons. But I can't explain the details to you. Master Lin, please help me, since you are the one that arrests my relative. As long as you say that you got the wrong person, there will be no problem in releasing my relative. Lu Nian said. They looked at each other, and Lin Fan smiled, that is impossible, but I'm curious, who are you? You said Dr. Sun is your relative, I don't buy that. Lu Nian knew that man reasoning was hard to believe, and shook his head. Master Lin, sometimes it's better to know nothing, as long as you can help, another gift will keep coming. Hey, it's not that I don't want to help you, but that is impossible. Besides, Dr. Sun worked with demons, how can I let him go? Lin Fan said. Lu Nian hurriedly responded, Master Lin, as long as you say it was just misunderstanding, Dr. Sun will be fine, and it's only you who has the authority to release him. Ha! Lin Fan frowned. What do you mean by this? I, Lin Fan, as Jiangdu City's hunter, must maintain the stability of Jiangdu City. Now you want me to lie? No, I don't want to do that. That is a big sin. Lin Fan said. Lu Nian was shocked, and he said, but, Master Lin, you just received my money. Snapped. Lin Fan slammed the table and glared, what are you talking about? When did I receive your money? If you dare to talk nonsense, I will take you down. Lu Nian's expression changed. He raised his hand and said, you should be grateful. Lu Nian didn't expect to meet such a despicable man. Lin Fan didn't hesitate when he took the money. But now Lin Fan denied all of his acts. Lu Nian's heart was burning with anger, and his gaze became cold. Okay, good, I will at least pretend I never meet you, now if you will excuse me. Return my money. Lin Fan knew the conversation ended, so he was trying to flee with the money he got from Lu Nian. What money? I never take your money, what are you talking about? Lin Fan said. He would not admit that he took the money even though the sky was falling down. Lu Nian was furious and grabbed Lin Fan's collar. At that moment, Lin Fan drew his sword and yelled, you thief, you dare to mess with me. Lin Fan waited for the opportunity to kill Lu Nian, he couldn't let Lu Nian live. Lu Nian. Third stage possible item drop. 23 years worth of express, crushing the mountain. Second stage, Feiyan 4. Step, third stage, the sun blade, third stage, 1000 silver money, copper ring, red bellyband, stamina recovery medicine, fire wood of love. Lu Nian was a bit hesitant. He didn't expect Lin Fan to draw the sword. Did Lin Fan intend to kill him there? Lu Nian avoided the sword, and the table was slashed into two because of Lin Fan. Hiya! Lin Fan didn't know any sword technique, but it didn't matter as long as he could slay Lu Nian. Lin Fan had 31 years cultivation, but Lu Nian only had 23 years cultivation. Even though Lin Fan didn't know anything about martial arts, he could crush Lu Nian easily. Master Lin, are you mad? Lu Nian said angrily while avoiding the sword. If Lu Nian killed Lin Fan, he couldn't set Dr. Sun free, which was problematic for him. Can't you calm down a bit? Lu Nian shouted. Lin Fan attacked him whenever he tried to bribe Lin Fan again. Chapter 20. Invincible. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The waiter reported to the shopkeeper when he heard there was a sound of fighting in the private room. The sound of broken things echoed loud in the pavilion. The situation inside was intense. Damn! Lu Nian said angrily, he didn't expect Lin Fan would reject him. He already had the idea of beheading Lin Fan. After he killed Lin Fan, he planned to leave Jiangdu City. Lu Nian thought Lin Fan was weaker than him, so he wanted to kill Lin Fan right now. Mountain Destroyer Palm, 5 Hercules. Lu Nian roared, and his strength was strong enough to kill someone instantly. Hiya! Lin Fan's sword technique was simple, without unnecessary movements, he was using all of the experience he gained from defeating his opponents before. Lu Nian didn't dare to go against Lin Fan's sword barehanded, he stayed conscious and evaded Lin Fan's attack. Later, he found Lin Fan's flaws in Lin Fan's movements, he sneered, and he attacked Lin Fan from an extremely tricky angle. The shopkeeper was in a panic and didn't know what to do. There was a fight in the private room, and all the guests in the lounge were scared. That was a heavy loss for the store. What are you doing standing there like an idiot? Hurry up and report it to the guards. The shopkeeper was worried it will affect the business. The waiter hurriedly ran to report the incident. Boom. Meanwhile, a figure crashed the private room's door and rolled out. Lu Nian was bleeding, he lost a few fingers, his expression was like seeing hell in front of him, and looked at Lin Fan in disbelief. He didn't expect Lin Fan to be so powerful. Is that all you got? Lin Fan walked out with his sword and then touched Lu Nian's head. Don't be afraid, I'm a hunter, and I'm dealing with a criminal right now. And he is a dangerous man. Lin Fan revealed his identity to calm them. Lu Nian watched Lin Fan furiously, observed the situation around him, and searched for a chance to escape. Lin Fan, holding a sword, wanted to continue slashed Lu Nian. Lin Fan wanted to take his life. Never thought of giving him a chance to survive. You despicable and shameless guy, you took my money and wants to kill me, you will pay the price. Lu Nian never thought that Lin Fan would become so dangerous. Well, Lin Fan, the hunters of Jiangdu City, I will treat you kindly. Lin Fan said that furiously, and then slashed Lu Nian. Lu Nian was bleeding all over his body, and his fingers were the worst. Lin Fan was a bit disappointed and quite dissatisfied. How could he be so weak? Lu Nian wanted to escape right away. He attempted to flee, but Lin Fan activated boar crash and rammed toward Lu Nian's back. Lu Nian was spurting blood, his internal organs might be crushed, and he died instantly. Ha! Obtained. The Sun Blade, 3rd Stage, Liang Sword Technique, 3rd Stage, Sun Blade Technique. The General, the Twin Sun, crushing the mountain, scorched earth, burning sky. Obtained an item. Firewood of Love. Firewood of Love. Heavenly medicine, indestructible, a high regenerative ability, and was potent to increase men's vitality. What the hell? Lin Fan was shocked. He admitted those 5 swords were very good. But the point was, what the hell with that firewood of love? Just what kind of item was that? Lin Fan continued to check Lu Nian's body and found 100 silver money in Lu Nian's pocket, and he stuffed it into his pocket. Oh, here it is. I dropped it somewhere. I didn't expect to find it here. Lin Fan muttered. Meanwhile, people from the Hunter Guild came, not to deal with demons, but to maintain law and order in Jiangdu City. Team Leader Lin, why are you here? Wu Yi recognized Lin Fan. Although it hasn't been that long since Lin Fan became a hunter, he was greatly valued by Wang Zhou, and others naturally had to remember Lin Fan's name in their minds. Lin Fan said, "This man wanted to assassinate me but ends up die by my hands. Search his body and check who this man is." "Yes, Team Leader Lin." Wu Yi said. "Shopkeeper, come here." Lin Fan said to the shopkeeper not too far away from him. The shopkeeper was scared that someone died in the store, which will have a great impact on future business. Especially he heard that Lin Fan was a hunter, which made him felt so helpless. "Is there anything I can help you with?" The shopkeeper timidly came to Lin Fan and asked carefully. He was actually scared of one thing. If Lin Fan wanted to blackmail him, he could say that his shop was hiding a prisoner and tried to assassinate Lin Fan. He will be in trouble. "Sorry, I caused a lot of trouble, how much for the repairment?" "I will pay you accordingly." Lin Fan said, he was also a man with a big heart and money. The shopkeeper said, "You don't need to pay for that. You are the victim here, so the shop is responsible, partly responsible for that. I only hope that you will not blame me for that. It has nothing to do with you. I have to settle the matter quickly. I still have something to do, and time is of the essence." Lin Fan waved his hand, and he felt being a hunter was not that bad. This. The shopkeeper was a bit hesitant and couldn't understand Lin Fan's kindness. Seeing the shopkeeper didn't dare to speak, Lin Fan took the initiative. Well, there are a lot of damaged things, and those guests who didn't pay when they fled, counted all together. I will give you 50.2 silver. Lin Fan took out the silver and gave it to the treasurer. The treasurer calculated it, and what Lin Fan gave to him was almost the exact price. The shopkeeper looked at the money in his hands and then stared at Lin Fan in disbelief. What happened? Is this how the hunters behave?